Have you ever wanted to play EU4 and have 1 million ducats in your treasury in the year 1444 in Iron Man mode? Well, you're in luck. If you watch this video or call 1-800-RED-HAWK-TUA in the next 20 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be sharing with you the latest and greatest and craziest EU4 exploit that still hasn't been patched out, only has recently been found out, and because EU4 is at the end of its lifespan, I doubt will ever get patched out. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to have 1 million ducats, the maximum amount of money you can have in EU4, in your treasury in Iron Man mode, and you can go on to do the craziest world conquests, grab the craziest achievements, and do pretty much anything, because let's face it, 1 million ducats in your treasury? Well, that's a lot. Alright, here we are in EU4, ladies and gentlemen, the game we all know and love, the game about which exploit I will be sharing with you, and there are a couple of things that you need to do, and a certain nation you need to play for this exploit to work. Now, how did I find out about this exploit? I will share with you right now, ladies and gentlemen. You see, I was browsing the EU4 subreddit a couple of days ago, like the wholesome front page Redditor I am, and I came across this post right here. Achieving 1 million ducats in less than a year as the Timurids on patch 137.3 still works on 1.37.5, which is the latest patch and probably the final patch that EU4 will ever be on. And this is the screenshot, man. This player is playing as the Timurids right here. There is 1,000 ducats in his treasury, which is basically a million, and Iron Man mode is on. Now, obviously, this can be cheated right here. You know, there are things that make this thing pop up right here, even with the console command up. But, ladies and gentlemen, I have tried this out. In fact, I've tried it out about 4 times already, and it's worked every single time, so I can confirm that it's legit. Now, let me tell you how it works. So the first thing that you need to do for this exploit, ladies and gentlemen, is play as the Timurids, because this is the only nation that this exploit works with, and I'll tell you why once we get into the game. Now, it does work on Iron Man, like I just told you, I have confirmed that. However, for the purposes of this guide, I'm going to be jumping into non-Iron Man, just so I can Alt F4 and save scum easier if I need to. Alright, here we are as the Timurids, man, and what you're gonna do when you start up a game as these guys is just set up a regular game as the Timurids. But before that, let me show you what this exploit relies on. You see, as the Timurids right here, we have this decision, restore the treasury, which requires us to have 40% crown land or have dev'd 10 times and seized land 4 times. And along with the 40% crown land, all subjects need to have less than 35% liberty desire. The way we're going to be achieving this is by having 40% crown land and all vassals below 35% liberty desire. We don't care about the deving or seizing land. When you take this decision, among other things, you can see that we currently gain a certain amount of money, 309 ducats. Of course, that changes depending on what things you do. So that is, this decision right here is one of the things we do for this exploit. And the other thing that we do for the exploit is, let me try and find it right here, this right here, Soyurgai grants. So this is another thing that this exploit relies on, but more on that when we get to the exploit. So the first thing you're going to want to do as the Timurids, man, is just like I said, start up a regular game, right? You're going to go ahead and select all your things because, well, you are going to be doing a regular game, so why not set it up as such? We're going to take all of these decisions right here. We're going to go ahead and set some rivals. Make sure to rival a Jam, of course, right at the start, because that is the first war you're going to do as the Timurids. Then you can also go into your advisors, get whichever level 1 guy you want, get this a level 2 Diplorep guy if he's around, if not, get an improved relations guy, and then get whichever mill guy you want. Of course, we're going to get there later with money, and then you also want to give the lenient taxation estate ability right here. Then you're going to go into your estates, summon the diet, pick whichever agenda right here is best for you, and seize land. So immediately, as you can see, we're at 35% crown land. Remember, for this decision, we need 40. Then you can see that some of these estates do start off with certain privileges granted. For example, this one right here, which we do need for the exploit. Don't worry about any of these. Give out the regular estate privileges, except the ones that cost you crown land. So to the ulama, we're going to give clerical advisory. We're going to give, religious diplomats and clerical education right here. To the emirs, They already have this. We're not going to give them this, remember. We're also not going to give them increased levies. This is very important too, because we don't want them to be exempt from seizing land. Then we can give them aristocratic councilors and strong duchies, of course, very important for the getting the vassals loyal. And then we can give the merchant guild's commercial advisory and indebted to the merchants. Just like that, everything is good. We can go ahead and get a mill guy right there. And there we go. That's pretty much your game set up as the Timurids. You can get both of these armies, get them together in Herat right here. Take this army, delete a cavalry regiment from it, and recruit an infantry regiment to it. And then we're also going to go ahead and hire the free company right here, right next to it. We want these guys because we're going to be doing initial wars. Then remember that we need all of the vassals to be below 35%. Now, they are going to get rowdier later, but we do need to keep an eye on them. So go ahead and just royal marry every single one of your vassals. You will be able to royal marry Transoxiana when a month ticks over. So there we go. There's Khorasan right there. There's Sistan, there's Afghanistan, and once these diplomats are back, we're going to do Transoxiana as well. Now, another thing about the Timurids here, of course, they do start off with Shah Rukh right here. This guy does die pretty soon into the game, and if he does die, which usually happens in the first year, just restart and do the whole setup all over. It really doesn't take that long, but we do need him to be alive. When he dies, all of these guys become super disloyal. So that's why you want to get into wars and eat up a Jam super early, because even if he does die, they remain loyal. Once December 11th has hit, you are ready to declare your first war on a Jam. Of course, don't forget about that Transoxiana royal marriage. And then you can set, after you declare on a Jam, you can tell these guys to improve with your own subject countries. Then you're going to go ahead and hire a general for this army right here. Wait for these guys to get here. A Jam usually always allies Shirvan and Nogai. And just December 11th, go ahead and declare a reconquest for this province right here on a Jam. Let your vassals get into battles and lose their armies. They'll be more loyal like that. So, as you can see so far, except for certain estate privileges, we're doing a completely regular game as the Timurids. After you've started this war, of course, you will be able to take a mission right here. And of course, the game will tell you that as long as Shah Rukh lives, all of your vassals will be loyal. Now that this war has started, let me tell you what we're waiting on in this playthrough. You may have noticed by now, for this decision, the 40% Kralin thing. We're at 35%. How do you get to 40%? Well, you just gotta wait for 5 years to seize land again, so you get up to 40%, right? Yes, and that is a completely valid strategy, except this will delay the exploit by just a couple of years. And really, this isn't bad at all. Instead of getting, those 1 million ducats in 1444 or 45 or 46, you'll get them in 1449 or 1450. So really not a problem. However, there is an event we are waiting for here as well, and it does happen super early and super often. The mean time to happen is very low, and it's basically the death of some guy and whatnot, and that event lets you seize 5% crownland from the nobles. That's why we didn't give them increased levies, which makes them exempt from seized land. So right now, we're still continuing a regular playthrough as the Timurids, fighting a Jam normally, taking our armies up here to peace out Nogai, then moving down south, but we're waiting for that event. And of course, for Shah Rukh to not die. Just pieced out Nogai, and another thing I need to mention about that event is the latest it can happen is 1455. So that's 11 years after the game starts. Of course, that doesn't matter, because if we do hit 1450, or to be specific, 1449, 1111, before the event happens, we can just seize land. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the event that we're waiting for, the death of Muhammad Juki right here. In my 4 previous runs that I've tested so far, for me it's happened 3 times in 1445 and 1 time in 1446. So I do gotta say this is quite late, and if you're this close to 1449, it really doesn't matter. The only thing that does matter is that Shah Rukh is alive. So if Shah Rukh dies for you, Alt F4 and reload to the previous thingy, because we don't want him to die. Now, the death of Muhammad Juki right here, we can select this first option. This is what we need to take. The emirs or the nobles lose 5% crownland, and obviously it goes to us. Our vassals become slightly more disloyal, and we lose local autonomy in certain provinces, and that is how we get up to 40% crownland before we're actually able to seize land right here. So it speeds up the whole process a little bit. And obviously this is the option you're going to want to select. And there we go. Just like that, ladies and gentlemen, we are at 40% crownland. And we do have the ability to take the decision, restore the treasury, which as you can see in my case right here, among other things, it gives me 410 ducats. Now, how does this exploit work? Well, now once we're able to take this decision, let me show you. First, what you're going to want to do is go into your estates right here. Then, you're going to want to go into the emirs and scroll all the way down to where you can see this right here. Soyurgai grants. As we can see, we can't revoke it because we already have it, but it gets revoked via that decision. Now, once you have this window open, the emir privilege window, then you go into your decisions, but you still have this open. And look at this. You restore the treasury, you gain 410 ducats, and Soyurgai grants gets removed. So there we go, 400 ducats, but look at this. We can just grant this again. But look at this. We can restore the treasury again. And we can grant this again, and do 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 this again. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That is how this exploit works. Then, after you've done your initial Timurid setup, you're doing an excellent war, all you gotta do is sit here for a couple of minutes, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, depending on how fast you are with clicking and stuff like that. Maybe there's a way to make this automatic, I don't know. Any PC nerds can let me know about that in the comments. But this is how that exploit works, ladies and gentlemen. You just keep granting Soyurgai grants, and you keep restoring the treasury. The amount of money you get changes based on certain factors, and I do gotta say, you don't want to piece out a jam before you can do this, because when piecing out a jam and when getting more land, obviously the crown land share between you and the estates changes based on their influence and stuff like that. So while you're at 35% crown land and you're waiting for that event to gain 40% crown land, do not piece out a jam or whichever nation you may be fighting. And there we go. While I'm yapping on to you guys about this, you know, how the event works and stuff like that, and how the exploit works, and just by clicking these buttons, I'm already up to 25,000 ducats. So you can just keep doing this, well, until you have the amount of money that you want. And there we go. I've clicked a little bit. I'm honestly tired of clicking right now. So there we go. We're about at 60,000 ducats right here. I'm just going to go ahead and piece out a jam right here. What you want to take from them is almost everything. Don't full annex them, because then you'll get their subjects. And just like that, your first war is done, and you've gotten how much money you want in the bank. We're still at 40% crown land over here. Obviously, if you full state this, the land will go with the estate. So that's why I said, you know, you kind of want to do it before that war. And once you do close the emir's window, that isn't possible anymore. That policy, or sorry, that privilege isn't there anymore. So that's why you got to open up the emir's window and then go into the decisions, because if you close this, that exploit isn't doable. So there we go, man. You know, successful game as the Timurid started. You can annex these guys very soon right here. As you can see, the console wasn't used in any way for this. I've gotten 60,000 ducats, and you know what? If some of you guys don't believe me that it's not possible, you know, on non-Ironman mode, you know what? I'll start up a game in Ironman mode and show you right now. Of course, I'll skip all the setup and the boring parts. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. So this is the Ironman run I've started right now. I was on my way to do everything the same, and this is the earliest I've gotten it. So there we go. It is Ironman, man. These are the achievements. You guys can see them. Here's the console. You know, let's type, I don't know, cash. You can see that they're not available in Ironman mode. And this is the first time I've actually gotten this event before I even declare the Timurid War. Now, the first thing I'm going to do right here is, because these guys are going to get above 35% disloyalty, let's Royal Marry Transoxiana right here. So there we go. Now they're down to 18%. Let's do this. This should put us instantly at 40% Crownland. There it is. We are at 40% Crownland. We can do the decision. Transoxiana is below 33%. And look at this, ladies and gentlemen. So the title of the intro, nothing is clickbait, man. You are able to get 1 million ducats in Iron Man mode in the year 1444. I just showed you guys that it's Iron Man in both ways. Let's do the same thing. So I didn't do anything else different. Estate setup exactly the same. These guys exactly the same. This exactly the same. Royal married everyone. Recruiting the guys. Got the free company. Got the general. I was waiting for December 11th to declare the war on Ajam, which always allies the same guys once again. And look, before we've even done anything, there's the event, man, and it's as simple as that, boys. If you want, you can restart till you get it in exactly 1444, but there's no difference if you get it 1444, 1445, 46, 47, 48, 49. You will always get it. So there we go. Once again, confirm that we are in Iron Man. We go back into the emirs. We scroll down till we can see Suryagai grants right here. We go into the decisions, and we will restore the treasury. It's slightly less money now than it was earlier, I guess, just because time has ticked on, but it doesn't matter, man. It's like 350 ducats minimum. So restore the treasury, Suryagai grants. Restore the treasury, grants. Treasury, grants. And there we go. Iron Man mode, ladies and gentlemen. Year 1444. We haven't even started our war with the Jam. And keep in mind, man, if you get however much money you want from this exploit right here, there is nothing that can stop you. Shah Rukh can die the next month. You can literally hire every single mercenary company in the world, and it's gonna help you with your vassals. It's gonna help you win any wars. Even if they do the independence war, you can easily crush like the Ottomans or the Mamluks or whoever is supporting these guys. And keep in mind, man, with all of this money in your treasury, once you unlock like all of the awesome buildings, you know, you can get level 5 advisors super easily. You can start running level 5 advisors, no matter how expensive they are, right in the year 1444. So you can get so much points, man. You can tech up and get ideas super quickly. You can insta do all of your monuments up to level 3. You can insta build any building anywhere you want as soon as you unlock it. And to think this is available in Iron Man mode, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say once again, like I showed many times, it's insane, man. It's insane. It's I don't think this exploit will ever be patched out, man. Like I said in the intro, I don't think it'll ever be patched out because I think we are on the last EU4 patch ever. EU5 is probably about to come out very soon, you know, late this year or early next year is what I'm thinking. Nobody has, of course, told me anything. That's just my opinion based on the way marketing is going and stuff like that. So unless they're planning to do a final bug fix patch, sorry, for EU4, which I don't think they will. There aren't game-breaking bugs or anything like that, and this exploit isn't that bad because you can only do it as a Timurids. I think this is going to be around for the duration of EU4's timeline. Of course, unless with my video here being dropped is what lets Paradox know about it, and they fixed it. But hey, listen, I had to make a video about it as soon as I saw the Reddit post. And of course, major credit to, let me just say this, man, to this person right here, Appropriate Cake 1917, for coming up with this exploit here, man. Shout out this guy, man. I just saw it randomly on the EU4 subreddit, and it doesn't even have that many upvotes, man. And it's crazy to me, you know? And there we go, man. Close that out. 50,000 ducats is about enough clicking for me. Maybe you can pay your little brother or sister to sit here for about a half an hour to get 1 million ducats, which I think is the max. Or you can set up like some program or something that does it automatically. Like I said earlier, all my computer nerd friends will know how to do that. But yeah, there you go, man. Iron Man compatible. I don't know what else you want me to say. I showed off the exploit in every possible way. Like I just said, you can insta upgrade monuments right here, man, with your 1,000,000 ducats. Of course, not with 50k. Registan Square, this one right here that Transluxiana has, the BAM Citadel that Timurids have. You can send gifts to your subjects. You can put down, you know, churches, marketplaces, workshops as soon as you unlock them, and it's just you can become defender of the faith, you know, upgrade your forts, upgrade your what you call it, your centers of trade, pretty much anything you want, man. And you can obviously insta pay off all your burger loans. You can bump this guy up to level 5, you know, hire different advisors that you can upgrade them. Nothing really matters here when you have 1,000,000 ducats in the treasury. Of course, I just spent half of mine because of upgrading and stuff like that, but you get the point. Yeah, one of the craziest exploits in EU4 recently, man. You know, let me know in the comments if there's any other secret ones that you know of that you want me to make a video about, unless this video makes Paradox patch this out, in which case don't let me know, because hey, maybe some of you guys do like playing with exploits. Unlike me, I'm the best EU4 player of all time. So I was just looking at the subreddit, ladies and gentlemen, and before getting ready to record the outro, just in case I might have missed anything, and what I did notice in the comments was that it seems that this person right here, let me show you right now, Termez right here is actually the person who discovered the exploit instead of the, the Reddit poster right here. So shout out to Termez. All credit goes to him, unless, of course, he's a racist, with the, being the person who discovered this exploit. So good job, Termez, right here. I don't know if he makes EU5 content or not. I guess we can actually see that right now, and I guess he does. So yeah, check him out, I guess. He might be one of those exploiter guys. And then, of course, I also want to give a shout out to Matthew Garza right here, who I found has made a video on the topic already. So, sorry, I did not know there was a video on the topic already. But yeah, shout out Matthew Garza, man. He's made a video about that as well. Once again, shout out and subscribe to him, unless he's a racist. And yeah, Matthew, you might want to fix your spelling of the Timurids in the title if you can see this. But yeah, check out their videos as well, man. Credit goes to all three of these people before me. I don't want to take credit for anything over here. I just wanted to show this off. But yeah, man, once again, that was the Timurids 1 million ducat exploit in the year 1444 in Iron Man mode. But yeah, I think that's about enough yapping for me. That's it for me for now, and I'll see you next time.